I think most of us, if we're honest, have gone out of our way to avoid a fight at some point. And that's a good thing. Avoiding a physical fight isn't about being a coward. It's the sign of a rational, thinking mind. But what happens when you can't avoid it? When the threat is right there and your brain decides diplomacy is officially off the table? Well, that's what we're going to dive into, the hidden science of what really happens in a fight. In just one single solitary second, you go from a state of thinking to a state of pure reaction. You're not weighing options anymore. You're not considering consequences. You are just surviving. So what is actually going on inside your body and mind during those insane, chaotic moments? Let's break down the science second by critical second.
It always starts with a trigger, and you might not even consciously register what it was, maybe an uncomfortable look, a voice that suddenly gets way too loud, or a shove you never saw coming. You don't have time to process it, but your body already knows. The alarm has been sounded. Before you can even string a coherent thought together, this tiny little structure deep in your brain, the hypothalamus, has already declared a full-blown state of emergency. Think of it like a 911 operator that doesn't even wait for you to pick up the phone. It's already dispatching the entire emergency response. So, with those alarm bells ringing loud and clear, your body just shifts into battle mode with, astonishing speed. It is an all-hands-on-deck situation where every single system is rerouted and optimized for one single primal instinct: survival.
And here's exactly how that cascade unfolds. It's wild. First, the hypothalamus sends the signal. Boom! From there, your heart just starts pounding, pumping blood to your big muscles for power. At the same time, your pupils get huge to let in more light, sharpening your vision on the threat. And finally, every muscle in your body tenses up, coiling like a spring, getting you ready for explosive action. It's a chain reaction that happens in, a split second.
Now this is where things get really, really interesting. As your body is gearing up for a physical battle, your mind is going through an equally dramatic change. Your rational, modern brain, it starts to power down, basically handing over the controls to a much older, much more primitive part of you.
And this slide just perfectly illustrates that hostile takeover. On one side, you've got your prefrontal cortex, the CEO of your brain, right? The part that calculates consequences and ethics. Well, its status is going offline. And taking its place is the amygdala, the ancient fear and instinct center. Its status? Activated. It takes full control. And this isn't just for physical fights. The same thing can happen in a screaming match with someone you love, where all reason just flies out the window.
With the amygdala now in the driver's seat, the chemical floodgates just burst open. You get a massive surge of adrenaline and noradrenaline coursing through you. Think of these as your body's own high-performance rocket fuel. This is what causes that weird ringing in your ears and the trembling in your hands. Your body is now officially supercharged for conflict. So, the button's been pushed. There is no turning back now. You are in the fight itself. And this is where that cinematic fantasy of a clean, heroic brawl just completely collides with the messy, desperate reality of what human combat is actually like. I absolutely love this quote because it just nails the truth. All those cool, choreographed moves you imagine yourself doing? Yeah, they're gone. The reality is so much clumsier, so much more primal. It's less about winning and more about just pure, desperate survival. And hey, there's a really clear neurological reason for this. Neuroimaging studies have actually shown that under this insane level of stress, the part of your brain that manages precise movements, the motor cortex, it just deteriorates. Your coordination completely breaks down. You're not a graceful fighter, you're more like spaghetti trying to box. It's a mess.
So during these few seconds, the whole world becomes this blurry, fast, confusing mess. Your body seems to move on its own, without your permission, just driven by pure instinct. Any punches you throw aren't precise strikes. They're more like clumsy, desperate impulses. And your entire world just shrinks. Your focus narrows until the only thing that exists is you and the immediate threat right in front of you.
So what about the pain? If you get hit, you'd expect this sharp, intense feeling, right? But you won't get it. Instead, people describe it as this cold, dull sensation. Like something just isn't working right. That's your adrenaline, acting as an incredibly powerful natural painkiller. It's literally blocking the pain signals from ever reaching your brain. But don't worry, the bill for that pain, it will come due later. And then, just as quickly as it all began, it's over. And there's no victory music, no celebration. This is the moment the adrenaline starts to fade,
and your body and your mind have to start reckoning with what the heck just happened.
And this timeline really shows the fallout. Right after the fight, the adrenaline crash hits you like a truck, and that's when the uncontrollable shaking starts. Just a few minutes later, the pain signals finally get through, and you feel the full physical cost. Then, hours later, the stress hormone cortisol kicks in. That's what keeps you on edge, leading to anxiety and inflammation. So yeah, the physical fight might be over, but the biological battle is just getting started.
As that chemical storm finally starts to die down, your prefrontal cortex, that rational CEO, it slowly comes back online. And it returns with a whole flood of questions. What did I just do? What happened to the other person? And oh my God, what are the consequences going to be? The mental processing has begun.
And this brings us to a really crucial and kind of sobering point. Even if you won, even if you're the one who walked away without a scratch, there is no real victory here. The number of winners is 0. Research and just human experience show us that violence leaves a mark. It can change you, and it can shake the very foundations of your life in ways a simple punch never ever could.
So the ultimate takeaway here is that true strength, it's not found in the fight itself. If you have the choice to take a step back, to walk another block, or to just not respond, do it. Because the hard thing isn't throwing a punch, it's choosing not to. Having the wisdom and the self-control to de-escalate, that is the real victory.